In today's video, we are going to be talking about the Ford Raptor F150 in Gran Turismo Sport, and I would assume that it would be also the very same as, well, in Gran Turismo 7 whenever that game feels like being released. Now, of course, as you can see, we are racing up against supercars in a Ford F150. Can I win? You'll just have to see at the end. But in this video, we are going to be talking about a few different things. Acceleration being one, as well as handling, because of course this is not just a off-road vehicle, but you can also use it on the track, clearly, against supercars. So, let's see how we can do. Number one, acceleration. Is the acceleration good? No, it's horrible. It's a heavy vehicle. But it's not bad. If you crash, you can get back into a race easier against other Ford Raptors or against a Toyota maybe, but to be honest, the acceleration is not very good. I would give it against its own class an 8, but against, I mean, not these cars. These cars are, yes, they're in its class, but against other trucks, an 8. I would give it against other cars, other supercars, I would give it a 5. But against other classes, I would give it a 1. So keep that in mind. From there, when we start looking at how well it can handle, as well as it can, really, it is a four-wheel drive vehicle in the game, and it is four-wheel drive, obviously, in real life. Can you pass supercars? Yes, we're going to see that in this race. But you just really have to follow the line really well. If you're not going to follow a racing line, you're going to do absolutely horrible. There is no way of saving your race if you're not going to follow a race line. So keep that in mind if you feel like using this vehicle in a race. Also, if you race other Raptors or maybe a Toyota, if you follow a racing line, you're going to do ridiculously well. So that is something that is massive. The handling, I'm going to say against other trucks, the handling is a 10. Easily, by far, a 10 out of 10 against other trucks. Against cars, I will give it an 7 out of 10 in its own class. I would give it a 3 against other better classes, because it's actually pretty good around the corners. As long as you follow a racing line, you're not doing all that bad. Now, the issue that you're going to find when you're going into a corner is the brakes. So braking into a corner is totally fine as long as you follow the rules of hitting that double pylon and slowing down, putting your brakes on, you'll be fine. But if you're following closely against a car, their brakes are going to be obviously much better, just like they would be in real life. They're going to be able to stop faster than you. And if you're especially on an online race and you are trying to get some drafting from the other players and you're using a truck and they're using a car, see that? That was really good right there. That car hit me because, of course, AI in this game are like hitting there. It's like a wall hitting you. But going back to braking, when you are braking into a corner and you're drafting a player, you're going to want to go off towards the side, because with online races, you do get penalties for rear-ending players. In single-player mode, you don't. So when you're coming up on cars, just make sure that they do not try to brake before you do, or else you will get a penalty going into a corner, and a 1 or 3 second penalty really sucks. Now, a really good thing about racing the truck versus other cars, especially for people like myself who are colorblind, I don't see some corners coming up, especially on a track that I'm not 100% familiar with. Especially if you're coming up a turn and then going back down into another turn. Some of those corners can get kind of hairy when I'm using a car that's lower to the ground. While with the truck, you're so high up, even with the scenes, as we can see here, I can see over top of other cars. I can see the corners coming up no matter what track that I'm using. So if you're colorblind like me, it may be a strategic decision to use the truck or just easily just a higher camera setting, but That is something that I do like about the truck. But really quickly, what I just mentioned really quickly a few minutes ago was the handling. If a car does hit you, because of the weight of your vehicle, it's going to be harder for them to hit you out of the way. So if you're going around a corner and you're in a lobby online that is using the class that allows you to use the Ford Raptor, and they tend to be accident prone in that lobby, then you may be better suited using the truck, even though they may be faster than you overall going around corners and stuff. If they tend to hit you a lot, the Raptor, because of its four-wheel drive, will allow you to grip the road a lot better when they hit you, but also because of the weight, it's not going to be able to move you as much. So that's actually a very good strategy for you to use if you're in that situation. Now, I'm going to let you watch the last 2 minutes of this race. You'll get to see if I get to win against these cars. I'm currently in 4th place, and I'm doing not bad on the corners as well, which is very good. So I hope that you've enjoyed this video so far. Make sure to stay until the end, or at least skip forward to the end to see if I can win this race against cars with a Ford Raptor. Anyways, I'll see you guys and girls again next time.